What's this week all about in terms of training with the lads?
It's only, I suppose, it's winding down now. I suppose, Stephen, you have the last week was probably a bit of heavy training and a bit of football and stuff. This week will be just kind of a bit of sharpness and just getting fellas ready for the weekend and just probably talking through things, what need to be done and picking the team and all that kind of stuff,
Okay, so you obviously have a look at the lads, as some lads might step up a bit this week and some might fall back. So when does the selection usually make, Carlow? Would you know well in advance?
Well, no, the selection is made tonight. We'll have a football match there tonight, so we'll pick the team after training tonight. So we'll have a fair idea of how lads are going and how they're doing and so on. So we'll see after that tonight, and we'll be looking at hopefully 21 or 22 lads that can make a contribution on Sunday, and hoping that'll be the case.
Carl, you got over the county champions Rathvilly in the semi-final. Not an easy match either, but job done.
No, as you know yourself, against Rathvilly, all the games against them are always close. In the last 2 years, there was only 2 points in it either way. So we didn't expect anything different this year. So in at half time we were only a point up, but in the second half, I think they had a man sent off, and I think that had a big bearing on the match. There were with 14 minutes always going to be a bit harder, and we used the extra man fairly well, and we got ahead, and luckily for us that they weren't able to get any closer to us, I suppose, before the day was out. So we ended up winning by 5 points, which was good. But look, at the end of the day, it's only a semi-final, and there was no cup handed out, so we're in the final Sunday, so that's what it's all about. You've
been given the favourites tag by your opponent's Palatine, talking to him on the phone earlier today as well. Would you agree with that?
Well, so look, I think I saw McLeod's mentioning the other favourites is just for papers and pubs, I suppose. At the end of the day, it's when the lads cross the white line on Sunday, it doesn't matter whose favourites, it depends. And like last year, we were favourites to beat Rathvilly, and it didn't happen for us. We just didn't perform, so it doesn't matter whose favourites. If we don't perform on the day, the other team will win. So I'm hoping that our lads will be up for it on Sunday.
Yeah, they've also talking to any of the analysts or anything, Carl, have described old Leighlin as a well-oiled machine, and the lads know what they're doing. That's part of the work that goes on here at the club?
Well, it is, yeah. Those lads are together, Stephen, for the last 8 or 9 years, and they've been in 6 of the last 7 county finals, so those lads have put in a huge effort, not only this year, but over the last couple of years as well, and they've won 3 county championships already. So those lads owe nothing to nobody. They've always performed, and this year, at the start of the year, we were beaten in the league final. Palatine beat us in the group stages, and things didn't look very good, but in fairness, all the lads came together, we had a chat about it, and they decided to give it a good go, and thankfully we're back in the county final again.
Last time he's come up against Palatine was the first time he's won it. I think 97 was it? So it's a while since he's had a crack at these lads in the county final.
Well, it's true in the county final. Last year in the semi-final we beat them by 5 points, but we were very lucky to beat them. They had a man sent off, and they beat us this year as well. So there's never been much between us. Even in the last, I think the 3 league games we played over the last 3 years have actually been draws. So there's never been much between us. So, and I'm expecting no different than Sunday. They have a lot of experienced guys there who I know well, and obviously there's a lot of younger lads coming through there as well. So they'll be hard to beat.
What's their biggest threat, do you think, across the field?
I just think their hunger is their biggest threat. I think they've only won it once, I think, in 2006 in a long time. So when you have a team like that hasn't won something for a long period of time, they're going to be hungry, and if we don't match that, we'll be in serious trouble. So I'm hoping that after last year, fellas were very disappointed at their performance in the final, that we'll be able to match that, and we'll see where that takes us then.